we spoke about toilets, and apart from toilets, housing, you've actually brought financial inclusion opportunities to women, especially in the rural, peri-urban areas as well. And with microfinance, there was a, I think it was an IFC study which said that only 10% of women actually take credit from formal institutions, which and these are also just small and medium enterprises owned by women. So there's a huge 90% that just either lack collateral or find the whole process so complicated, or there's just no access to microfinance.
Right.
And microfinance gives them that, we spoke of dignity, that whole perception of power, being in control. Your thoughts, please.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. So first of all, I think I'd like to begin with saying that women culturally across the world seem to have a very complex relationship with understanding of money. So for a second, I would just want to go back to basics. And I find it incredulous that women of very high socioeconomic strata as well, globally, find it, with high degree of education, will find it okay and will be okay and comfortable with not understanding money. So which I think is as important as STEM studies. I mean, it does make the world go round. So it is, whether we think it's a complex relationship or whether we think it's culturally acceptable for a person of the female gender globally to even say that I don't understand money. Is that because we've culturally conditioned the female gender that this is okay? Because very rarely would I come across professionally accomplished men who would actually say, regardless of which country they come from, to say unabashedly that I don't understand money. So at the fulcrum, I think understanding of money and finance in particular should be a rudimentary understanding across the socioeconomic strata of all women. Because it does not matter whether you're in business or you're an entrepreneur, you chose to fulfill your ambitions in something which is in academia or in any other stream. It could be pure sciences or it could be bureaucracy. But not understanding money and finance is giving all your power away to somebody else. I think that is a fundamental truth to begin with. So for me, it begins with that we need to be making it culturally unacceptable for a person of the female gender to say that she does not understand money and finance. Because the minute you think it's okay to say that sentence, that means you've handed over the power to the men in your family to begin with. So that to me is a fundamental focus of what I would like to constitute as my life's work as things go forward, should the opportunity present itself. And we've walked this talk every year. We started AVIOM in 2015 and early 2016. So we're in between microfinance and housing finance. Now microfinance conventionally does loans of about $200 or $300 US. And we found that most women to turn entrepreneurs needed about $3,000–4,000. So we in India upped the ante. We found surrogate underwriting ability to underwrite that ticket size for women. And we put women at the center of the loan. And we put financial literacy as a must to get that loan. So we were very clear that we are not a charitable organization. We are not an NGO. And to be honest, we don't even receive grants because we also choose not to. We're a for-profit organization that works in social impact. And I think going forward, that is a way to go big. And eventually for financial organizations, it will be either go big or go home. And social impact companies in finance, it's too important a role to leave to the bylines of business and society. For social enterprises which are financially profitable to become mainstream, women have to understand finance and money. it must be made completely unacceptable at all flora and faunas to at least not have a basic understanding of how what a ROE is, what a return on equity is, what a ROA, what a return on asset is, how listings happen. You may choose not to participate in any of that, but for everyone to get their power back.
So tell us, Kajal, your work with the women and
Yes.
when they actually became empowered, can you just take us through very, very briefly a snapshot of the impact that you had?
Sure. Like for instance, even we live and learn. We have about 1,20,000 women that work with us. 60,000 we've given direct loans to. About 60,000 they work with us as our partners, and wherein they are paid by the company through the formal banking channel.
What would be the profile of these women? A socio-economic profile?
So just to make it as micro clear as possible, they come from a combined household income of about 20,000 rupees, and the main earner in that household would earn about 8,000 rupees. They're all in tier 2, tier 3 India. Surprisingly, literacy levels over the last 10 years have really gone up. So that is something that I think all of us, at least in India, should be very proud of. So there has been a milieu of various schemes and maybe the changes in society as well. So, and we work across 12 states. So my learnings and my companies and my team's learnings are not on any particular region. So with 12 states, we work right across from Telangana, Andhra, or Karnataka, right up till Madhya Pradesh or UP. So it's across different.
So with the microfinance, and this would be my last
Housing
point
finance,
to you,
right.
so housing finance, what is the change that women saw in their lives?
So if I can just take a quick minute, I was sharing with some of my colleagues that a couple of the international governments had done an independent study with translators. It was the US government actually. They did an independent study because they're also one of our funders, and they used translators, and some of us were there. And they asked some of the women directly that why do you work with ABM apart from the money that they give you? And like I was sharing that we've become so cynical also. I thought that some of the ladies were just going to say, oh, I can pay the fees, or I can pay for the electricity, etc. And she just got up in a second and said, of course she said it in Hindi, but loosely translated, she said that because I feel like a person. I think that about sums it all. That she said it in Hindi, which she said that मुझे लगता है मैं भी कुछ हूँ. So which in English really means that I feel like a person. And that to me said it all. And that has been, we're adding about 5,000, 6,000 women across on a monthly basis.
So more power to you and your army. And so as we've seen that women